Meme perks have existed since the dawn of Dead by Daylight, starting, of course, with David's No Mither. Today, I wanted to talk about them not only being an added bonus to the game, but the fact that in order for Dead by Daylight to be Dead by Daylight, we need the option of expressly casual or silly perks or add-ons. Before we get on to the meat of the video, I want to shout out my Ko-Fi supporters. If you want to support the channel, my Ko-Fi is linked in the description. Thank you. For the sake of clarity, I'm defining a meme perk as something that hinders you or has a minimal effect on your gameplay but provides opportunities for silly interactions. The best examples of these being bardic inspiration, plot twist, pebble. Unfortunately, there aren't really perks like this on the killer side, but there are meme add-ons that I ran when gathering footage for this video. I'm an aggressively casual survivor and killer player, and while I was recording these silly perks and add-ons, I kind of realized that casual and competitive players both need to exist. If everyone ran bardic or scene partner, it would lose all meaning. It wouldn't be special. You need an established meta of good perks in order for silly perks to stand out. I kind of see survivors running these perks as sort of extending an olive branch. When I see them as killer, it's an immediate sort of relief because I've been given confirmation that the other side also isn't taking the game too seriously. It's easy to get in your head as killer or survivor and assume that the other side is going to be playing like they have a gun to their head. But these perks relieve that psychological tension. I think that's really healthy in a game where you can get caught up in the competitive side of it and start to form a hatred or natural dislike of killers or survivors. Knowing that there's a pretty decent chance that you'll run into someone who will engage with your silliness or bring their own memes into the trial, it's a comforting thought. My favorite part about this game is the human interaction between survivors and their teammates and survivors and killers. And these perks create opportunity for human connection. Those connections aren't impossible to find without meme perks. I've had plenty of bonding moments with killers or survivors that had nothing to do with bardic inspiration or diversion or plot twist. But doesn't it help? It is easy for me to see Steve plot twist in front of me and then leave him because we've established that he's being silly. It's a big reason why I really like these events, especially ones like Bone Chill where snowballs don't do anything. Like, we know that. But survivors and killers alike can show their friendliness or their casual approach in that trial with the snowballs. If I see a killer throwing snowballs back at me when I'm looping them, I know that they're matching my energy. That's an important aspect of any trial. Every person in a match may go in with a different idea of how the game is going to go, but gradually we all get accustomed to how we're playing and our different experience levels, and we adjust our behavior to match the tone of the trial. If the survivors are running around with flashlights and getting pallet saves, I know they're not a serious team and I can play their little altruistic game, knowing that I likely don't have to worry about generators. What I like about the extending the olive branch metaphor is that there's an option to completely ignore it. No one owes you any sort of interaction, and that is okay. People can and do play this game without being silly or connecting to the other side. I think that the developers or the people that design perks are a lot more willing to make a bold survivor perk than a bold killer perk. Probably because survivor perks are one of 16 perk slots while killer perks are one of 4. Based on numbers alone, the killer perks should be designed to be viable. I just would really like to see steps taken towards killer perks that have unique animations, or they're a bit of a gamble, or they're very niche but they bring something new to the trial. I just think it'd be really cool. Survivors seem to have so many ways of self-expression through their builds, while killers can really only be silly through behavior and mannerisms. I've been accused of throwing the game for my survivor teammates when I ran silly builds, and I want to talk about that point because I think it's a flawed argument. Intent matters so much more than perks when it comes to whether or not you're being a good teammate. If you bring no mither, but you still do your best to make sure your team survives, you're not throwing the game. Your actions matter more than the perks that you're running. The sheer variety of players is what makes this game special to me. There isn't a right way to play, things won't go in your favor, and that is normal and good. Run perks that you enjoy running. Don't let a bad game change your playstyle for the worse, and give yourself some grace. Loss is inevitable. The only thing you control is how you deal with it. So have fun, pull out a loot, and watch the world end with some strangers.
Look how your jealousy moves, empathy proves, and in your heavy way, incessantly outplayed. See your suit.